Hey students, what's up? How you are? I hope you are all good. Okay, and I'm glad to welcome you to IMS online classes. Okay, I'm sure you might be eager. So what you are going to study now? Now, in this class, we are going to study about a very important concept that will not only help you in this year, but rather in higher classes also. That is metals and non-metals. Okay, so mostly in this unit, we are going to study a basic definition. What do you mean by metals or non-metals? Physical properties of metals and non-metals, chemical properties, and some uses of common metals and non-metals. Okay, so be ready. So let's study about metals and non-metals. First, we'll see about metals. Okay, ready? Now, moving on to metals. Now, just remember, we are not just talking about any substance, right? We are talking about the components in which a substance is made up of. For example, if you take a hammer, it is mainly made up of iron and wood. Okay, so we are talking about the components. These components are divided into two groups: metals and non-metals. And a special group is also exists. They are called as metalloids. Okay, so we'll study about that in a little bit later. Now, moving on to metals. Now, metals are one of the most ancient substance which human beings have discovered and are using. Now, let us move a little bit to history. Can you guess which metal is generally considered to be the oldest, or which is the oldest metal discovered by human beings? Any guess? Okay. Okay. Let me tell you. The first metal that human being discovered and used was gold. Okay. Going on a little bit of history. First metal discovered was gold. Okay, human beings discovered gold nearly in 6000 BCE, before Common Era. Okay, they discovered gold, and they were so much attracted to the shining nature of the gold that they named it similar to that of God. Okay, gold. So you can see most of the ornaments they are more made up of gold. Next was silver. Silver, which was discovered around 4000 BCE. Okay, silver. This metal was mostly used for ornaments, but rather than that, it is also used for some other purpose, also like making some utensils or coins, like that. Then similarly, lead, tin, iron. Iron is one of the most important discovery. Okay? The discovery of iron is considered as one of the most important one, because since the discovery of iron, it was discovered around 1500 BCE. Iron was discovered around 1500 BCE, before Common Era. And since the discovery of iron, the age following that was called as Iron Age. After 1500, whatever age it is, it was called as Iron Age. The reason is because if you see for metals like gold, silver, tin, lead, mainly they were supposed to be used for ornaments, because they weren't so much hard. Okay, they were hard, but not that much that it can be used in some other purpose. Gold is also a little bit expensive, so common people they can't have it. But iron, on the other hand, it was a metal and it can be used for anything and any purpose. It was used to make weapons. It was used to make utensils. It was used to make coins and many such things. So it was literally, you can say, iron was used for in each and everything. So the term was given as Iron Age, following iron. Okay. Similarly, a lot of metals were discovered and still it's going on until now also. This discovery is going on. The recent discovery can be seen. The recent metal which was discovered is given the name francium, discovered in 1939 CE, Common Era. Okay, francium. Francium is the most recently discovered metal, but I can say natural metal. It was discovered in 1939. So these are some of the history of metals. Now let's move on to some physical properties of metals. Okay, if you want, you can pause the video and note it down. Now, before moving on to the physical properties of metals, let's try to understand what do you mean by metals. Okay, so generally, metals can be said as a type of substance which are electropositive in nature. Electropositive. Okay, what do you mean by electropositive? It means that they have a tendency to lose electrons. Okay, if a substance has a tendency to lose electrons, they are called as metals. Now, what do you mean by electrons? Like, this question may arise in your mind. Let me make it clear. You might have heard that everything in this world, okay, is made up of matter, right? And mostly matter is divided into three types: solid, liquid, and gas. You have studied in your earlier classes, and you also studied that each and every matter is also made up of very small structure, very small component, which can be seen in naked eye with our simple eye, okay, or a simple microscope also. That is atom. Okay, every substance is made up of a small element called atom. Now, atom contains some other smaller particles that are called as electrons and protons. Now, generally, in case of metals, generally they will try to lose electron, and the reason behind that you study in a little bit high class. Until now, you understand that metals are those kinds of substance which try to lose electrons. Now, suppose let us consider that in an atom, electrons are generally negatively charged and protons are positively charged. Number of electrons and number of protons are generally same. So the atom remains electrically neutral. Okay. So suppose you can consider a spherical ball. If you consider a ball and if you consider positive and equal number of positive and negative charges exist here. Okay, equal number of positive and negative charges exist. Okay, so what happens? These positive charges are called protons and the negative charges are called as electrons. These positive charges are called as protons and negative charges are called as electrons. So what happens? In case of metals, they try to release electrons. Okay, so since they release electron, the positive charges becomes more, so they become positively charged. Okay, so that's why metals are generally said to be electropositive in nature. Okay, I'm sure you might be a little bit confused. Okay, no need to worry. Just try to understand that. Consider a ball in which equal number of positive and negative charges are there, and if you remove one negative charge, positive charges will remove, so the whole ball will become positively charged. That's what happens in case of metals. Example you can take for metals: iron, copper, zinc, okay, sodium, potassium. A lot of number of substances are there in case of metals. So understood what is metals? Good. Now moving on to the physical properties. So far, we are studying about a definition which might be a little bit confusing. But once we go through the physical properties, it would be easier to identify whether a substance is a metal or non-metal. Now, physical properties generally include the properties which you can see or which you can feel directly. Okay, the first is state of metal. State means which condition these metals are formed. Okay, under normal temperature, metals are generally solid. Metals are generally solid, except there is only one metal which is liquid. Okay, except mercury. Okay, not the planet. Okay, mercury is a metal that you can mostly see in a clinical thermometer. It is present. Mercury, okay, which is liquid. Okay, so Under normal temperature, metals are generally solid except for only one metal, that is mercury, which is liquid at the room temperature. Then, next physical property is their appearance. Appearance. Now, regarding appearance, if you might see, if you take the example of the common like gold, silver, platinum, you can see they are used for ornaments, right? Because they are quite shiny. They have a bright, shining appearance. That's why they appear. They are used as ornaments. But other than that, let's try to recall any other metal which you might have seen. That's a good question, right? Now, remember when you purchase a new iron rod, a hammer, or even a bicycle, it shines, right? Shining appearance is there. Why? Because it is made up of metals mostly. So metals in general they have a shiny appearance. That shiny appearance is called as luster. Okay? So metals contain metallic luster. So here luster means shiny appearance. Okay? Even if you take any old metal, any old iron rod, okay, any other metallic rod, if you take a sandpaper and try to rub them, okay, if when you see, you will see that when the upper layer is removed, the innermost layer it will be shiny. So metals are generally shiny in appearance. So that is called as luster. Okay, luster. It means shiny appearance. Okay, you can pause the video and note it down. Now, the other physical property is hardness. Now, you might recall that mostly metals like iron, copper, aluminium, okay, generally they are hard. So, metals they have a general property, that is they are hard in nature, except for two, okay, not gold. Okay, mercury is a liquid, so it's ought to be soft. Except that, out of solids, two metals are generally soft, that is sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are so soft that they can be easily cut using a knife. Okay, so this is one of the physical property, that is hardness. Other is malleability. Okay, now this might be a new term, malleability. Metals are generally malleable. Malleable means that is if they are hammered, they can be converted into thin sheets. Okay, just like paper sheets, just like that paper sheet, you can convert those metals into thin sheets. This property is called as malleability. The property by which a substance can be converted into thin sheets is called malleability. So metals are generally malleable. For example, if you ever visited, if mostly you have visited a sweet shop, in most sweets you can find some silver color, thin, completely thin paper type substance attached to the sweet, right? Mostly they are silver foils which are used to protect the sweets. Similarly, aluminium foils are also used to keep the food warm. Okay, so this is a property, physical property of metal. Moving on next, the next is ductility. Okay, just like malleability, ductility resembles the property of a substance which can be converted into wires. I'm sure might have seen, if you consider any kind of wires, okay, which is used for conduction of electricity. If you see outside the wire, it is either made up of iron or aluminium. Inside the wire, what you see the plastic covering. If you remove the plastic covering, you can see a quite brown color wire present inside. That is actually copper. Okay, in some places zinc is also used. So mostly, so in this case, you can say that metals are used to convert into wires. So this ability of metals to be converted into wire is called ductility. Okay, to be converted into wires. Gold and silver, they can also be converted into wires. Even more conveniently, gold is one of the best metal that can be converted into wires. But we won't use that, right? You know the reason, because it is expensive. So we can't afford, everyone can't afford the gold wires. So that's why other wires we are using. Now, next is conductivity. Conductivity means Conductivity here resembles means allowing, to allow something is called conductivity. In case of metals, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Both heat and electricity, that is metals allow heat and electricity to pass through them. Just before I was talking about wires, right? Electrical wires. So if metals are, we generally what? We use wires, and when we turn on the fan, the current goes from the wire into the device, okay? Into the fan, and the fan starts rotating, or the light starts glowing. So current can move through metals. So metals are good conductors of electricity. Similarly, if you observe for utensils, mostly cooking utensils, some are made up of metals, right? In olden ages, in some civilization, copper metals were used to make some utensils, cooking utensils. See, and nowadays also, drinking water from a copper vessel is considered to be very much, what you can say, a process of purification. It kills the harmful microorganisms. Okay, so metals are generally good conductors of heat and electricity. Similarly, any electrical device which is used to generate heat generally contains metals. And electrical device itself, they are made up of metals, because metals are good conductors of electricity. This is also one of the physical property. Then next is density. Density, okay, that is mass per unit volume. Metals are generally dense. Okay, metals generally have high density except for two, that is sodium and potassium. Sodium and potassium are the, since they are soft, they have very low densities, but other metals they have high density. Okay. Then last but not the least physical property of metals is sonority. Sonority means the ability of a substance to produce sound when struck hard. Okay. So metals are generally sonorous, means they produce sound. For example, if you see the school bell, okay, which is used manually to ring the bell, it is made up of iron. Similarly, bell in anywhere in different places, it is made up of metals, because metals produce large amount of sound. So these are the physical properties of metals. Okay, next we'll study about physical properties of non-metals. You can pause the video and you can note it down.